Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday morning trading room. Hang on a second. We'll get the screen share going on. Bit of a crazy start here to the day. I'm looking at the September contract already. I believe a lot of this gapping may be due to the rollover, although it may still be a continuation of this larger move here. I was expecting a larger pullback somewhere to around 7,300, but maybe this is all we got. The market hovering around 7,500 for a few days, and here we go, taking off again. We're trading at around 76.30, but you can see where we left off yesterday. We finished way down here at around 75.60, so a rather substantial overnight move and opening gap. Here, I'll take a look at the eagle. You'll see it a little bit better. Look at that. All through the European session, just a monster rally. And here we are starting the day down a little bit, but after such a strong move, it's always tough to tell whether the market's going to try to fill that gap today or whether it's going to do it at some point in the future. Typically, opening gaps, you can consider, here, this is where the market left off. This is where the market is beginning. A lot of people wonder about opening gaps. Well, essentially, the way I've always thought of it is you could think of the gap as a great big bar or a series of great big bars. But if this were on your daily chart or hourly chart or whatever you're looking at, you would consider this to be just massive acceleration, wouldn't you? You wouldn't be thinking that the market is going to turn bullish because of that. You would be thinking the market is much more bullish than bearish at this point. So a little something to keep in mind when you're looking at those opening gaps. But they do beckon to be filled, but a big gap like that, like I said, may not be filled today, may rather be filled at some time in the future. All right, well, we are flip-flopping around here a little bit. And we're only a couple minutes into the session. The Raptor going to produce an early trend change signal. The Falcon going to produce a proper trend change signal. Oh, and they backed off from that. We got ourselves a little bit of extra volatility cooking here today. Oh, look at that. Okay, well, I don't need to worry about that signal. I was considering buying the market up, but trend line has changed. Everything's gotten a lot more bearish again. I think I'm just going to leave them alone here for a minute or two. Let them sort out their issues. You can see the Raptor here shows it probably best, the Raptor and the Hawk. When your Raptor band starts to get very sideways, very twisted up, almost like a rope. That tells you the market's moving a little bit sideways, a little bit choppy. Oh, trade forecaster kind of nailing it too, saying we are in scalp mode. Oh, moving into swing mode. That is definitely reminiscent of a scalp type environment. And as I was saying, the hawk shows it really well too. When you get a lot of these yellow bars cropping up in more or less the same price level, prices just keep changing color. That tells you that we might find ourselves in a bit of a chop phase. And that's okay, because chop phases eventually lead to breakouts and hopefully something resembling a trend. Okay, we're actually producing a number one signal to short here. The eagle also bearish the hawk, the falcon. I wonder if they're going to try to get into that gap after all. See if we can get a second push opportunity on this number one signal. All right, I'm going to use this current bar that's flinching a little bit. That's going to be my second push. And I got to get my exit order out of the way. Okay, so the signal is engaged. This is where it's flinching. That's a little dodgy, but we'll see. We'll see what we get in the way of follow through here. Not asking for a lot. The gap, like I said, is a good 60 points below us. Yes, I said points. So that'd be like 240 ticks and change. The Bollinger Suite leaning a little bit to the short side. We're going to produce a hard edge bounce signal here. That's a number 3 signal. But remember, your number 3 signal is a continuation signal. Right now, there's not really a lot in the way of a trend to continue. Still looking for that trend to emerge. All right, well, look at that crazy move. All right, well, something's going on in the marketplace here this morning. Has the president tweeted something? I'm going to check the reports calendar while we're waiting. No, nothing really going on reports-wise today. That was some crazy bullishness. I think what happened there is the sellers got kicked in the teeth, really. Oh, wow. Just a crazy strong move here. And, well, when we're looking at these kinds of moves, it's not so difficult to determine the direction. Rather, the hard part is now deciding where to get in. You know, I realize this is in hindsight and doesn't help you very much now. Remember how the other day I said when we have a trend, the market tends to go sideways for a little bit or perhaps even down before resuming the trend? Well, isn't that's exactly what happened here today. I guess to start the day, I should have thrown my just in case order above the highs. And look at that move. Yeah, thanks a lot for that bit of advice, Eric. Oh, well, here it goes again, right? Big move up. We're going to see a period of consolidation. So you could, at this point, throw your just in case order to buy. Uh, don't know exactly where we're going to put the stops because, believe it or not, the best stop placement is way down here. And I think if I get filled on this, I'm going to be really, really quick with my stop loss orders. Yeah, the hawk is already, I can't hardly see it very well, but the hawk is trying to get bearish. I would not trust a bearish signal in such a strong rally. There is something that is very bullish in this market. So I would not try to fight the trend. Rather, I would try to stay with the trend as much as I could. So here we're getting a couple of number 3 signals. Again, I would ignore the number 2 signal entirely. Now, it's going to be easier to enter this after the bears make a more substantial move lower. We know there's selling going on here at 77.01. All right, well, let's see if the buyers got what it takes. I'm going to bring my stops up. So what I was going to say is we know there's selling going on here at 77.01. It's going to be easier to enter this market on a proper test of the extreme. So that's what we're looking at right now. We're looking at the market actually testing the highs. So now would be a good time to throw your order in above this bar right here. I'm obviously in this a little bit early. And we'll see whether momentum trumps what's going on here. We'll see if I can't get 10 ticks out of this. The market's been moving so fast. But notice the hesitation now. And that what that tells me is that there's a whole lot of selling going on. Sellers digging in here at around 7,700. If the market trades at 77.02, 02 and a half, we're going to start stopping out sellers again, and we'll probably see another rather quick uptick. That's the hope anyway, but we'll see. There we go. Okay, so you can see now we're stopping out some of those traders that we're trying to short from here. We have hit our swing target. I'm trying to get a couple extra ticks out of this one. Nope. All right, well, do we dare? Or are we starting to fail? We got ourselves a number 3 signal. I'd like to see a couple of bear bars against, and then same thing, I would look at using the second push option, or I'll enter above the high. Come on, give me another bear bar. There we go. Okay. Whoa. Okay, well, let's see what they got. They are crazy here to the upside. So I'm trying to enter here above the high. I probably mentioned it before, but it bears repeating. I don't like a market that is moving very, very fast. Fast moving markets are very thin markets. There's not much going on, and I think what tends to happen is the market will explode higher or lower, wait a few seconds for everybody to reach their buy or sell button, and then go the opposite direction. I'm trying to stay with trend here, but the market, like I said, is getting a little bit too volatile. Volatility is good, but I much prefer a steady pace. Even if a market spends time going back and forth, so long as it plods along, I personally find it much easier to trade than these violent moves higher and lower. All right, well, this isn't working out as planned. Sellers coming down here, retesting the hard edge, testing the support zone. The Bollinger Suite just turned over. It's gotten bearish. Okay, well, we got that sideways range. I don't mind that. I'm 2 swings back, which is good. Still a little uncomfortable. Trying to capitalize on this second push opportunity on the number 3 signal, which actually occurred back here. We did duplicate the signal here, however. We are definitely sideways, though, which is not where I want to find myself. And in this kind of situation, I'm halfway tempted to reverse my order. So reversing the order simply means if I get tagged out, I'll fill it with a short order. All right. I don't do this often. But the idea is if the market has run out of steam and it's not going to go higher, then maybe they're going to explore the bottom end. Yeah, see, here we go with the number 2 signal. Our trading band has fallen very, very flat. Now, the danger with attempting this is, which way is the trend? Well, the trend is up. And it would not be unlike the market just to break the lows and then reverse and head higher. That's the main reason I stopped reversing trades. This reverse button here, I got myself into a lot of trouble years ago playing with that reverse button. Because the market will flip-flop back and forth. All right, there we go. So I got tagged out. I'm now short. So stops need to go above the high. That's your exit order now. You could think of it as a second push or a delayed opportunity on this number 2 signal. Okay, so I sucked up a bit of a stinker to start the day here. Let's see if we can earn it back. Okay, looks like we can ignore that. Wow. Wow. What a roller coaster here this morning. Crazy. Is anyone else having audio problems? Dan seems to be having some audio issues. Okay, well, here we go. We're getting some extreme bullishness coming back into the market. And Keith, I thought you were putting me on. Keith said he did President Trump did a tweet on the conversation he had with the Chinese president, and that's what rallied the market. And you're right. I thought you were kidding. What do we got going on here? We got a really drawn out trend change signal. Again, the trend is up. We're going to produce a trend change signal here now on the Falcon. Okay, I'm going to anticipate, there we go, where the signal is going to print. It's going to print right about there. Got to get my stops out of the way. All right, let's see if I can stretch it just a little. Try to get a couple extra ticks out of it. Needs to get above this swing high. If it trades 77.12, we'll be in slightly better shape. Okay, possibly now a late filter entry signal. Come on. We're out of sync here on the Bollingers, which is not what I like to see. Normally when it gets like this, I tend to get a little bit quicker with my stops. I'm trying to give this trade a little bit of leeway though. No, there we go. We're starting to lose our momentum again. Come on. This is that pause again while I anticipate the next rally up. Darn it, you guys. You're going to leave me hanging here. Unreal. 77.12 is the number I needed. Now they're really making me sweat this trade again. Stinkers. As we get a trend change signal to the short side, brutal. All right, don't do this at home, but I'm going to give this a proper stop. Proper stop meaning I have to keep it below a significant swing point, ideally 2 swings back, but I don't have my first swing yet. This is really just 1 swing back. Okay, well, there looks like we're getting a little bit of a swing. So there's swing 1. This is swing 2. It's a killer on your risk amount if you happen to get tagged at this point. All right, here we go. Are the buyers going to be able to recover? I need to see a swing here. I need to see a swing higher so I can start to bring my stops up. My fear is that they're going to come down here, tag me out, and then reverse. While this is a huge range for me, it's really nothing for the market. All right, let's see what they got here. They're trying to get up. All right, they're trying. I'm hesitant to roll my stops. At this point, I'm just trying to avoid getting tagged out early. So tempting to roll your stops right here. We're trying to get a little bit of a trend going on. I really hope this trade works out, not just because I want the trade to work out, but to reinforce the point of how important it is to keep a proper stop. You'll remember my original stop was somewhere right around here, and you can see the prices came down just low enough it would have tagged me out, and then they started heading higher again. The best way to keep a proper stop that I can think of is you have to consider this money already gone. If you're fretting about the money you have at risk, that's a bad way to be trading. All right. Well, let's see. They're challenging the highs here. This is a really drawn out test of the extreme. At this point, I'm going to bring my stops below this swing, because if they fail to take out the high, then they're surely going to break the swing low. And then that's probably my cue to go. And from here on out, it's just a little bit of a waiting game. Yeah, see, here we go. Like I said, we're testing the extreme. We're retesting the high, and we're looking at another possible move lower. Not what I want to see. after trading sideways here for the last 15-16 minutes, the market could be getting ready for a move, and I'm afraid it might be a move lower. All right. I know for someone who says they don't reverse on their trades a lot, I'm sure reversing on my trades a lot today. Well, the last time I did it this morning, it worked out well. It worked out in the sense that I didn't lose money. It didn't really work out in the sense of me making money. Okay, so here comes the trend change. Here comes the retest of the lows. Again, folks, very, very risky to try to short into this market. Look at what happened the last time. Tried to short. Yes, I got tagged out at break even, but then up they go again. So we got our trend change signal here in the Falcon. This is just a drawn out second push on the Falcon signal. Okay, well, the Falcon here is getting a little wishy-washy. Well, actually, so are the other tools. The Raptor, the trading band here, very, very flat. Again, having that twisted rope effect to it. Okay, well, we're definitely flat. All right, well, you can see we produced a number 1 signal and a number 3 signal. Again, I wouldn't give too much weight to the number 3 signal. It's a continuation signal. There's hardly a trend to continue here. But what's interesting is we do have the market kind of establishing its sideways boundaries. We're already long on the top end, and this obviously going to be the boundary on the short side. And we need the president to tweet something nice again about China. All right, they're going to maybe try the bottom end here. All right, well, the Bollingers are definitely bearish, but we have lost pretty much all our initial momentum, and we're kind of stuck in a sideways range right now. We're almost an hour into the day, and typically when we're an hour in, if there's been any kind of trend, very often we'll see the market try to reverse on that trend. We'll see if that's the case today as well. All right, well, they're moving away from the bottom end here, so maybe they will end up testing the top side again. I was kind of losing hope on this trade, but if these lows hold, that's a very firm bottom. We got to see the market trade, as somewhere here around the 77.05 mark. And what I'm doing to determine that is I'm just eyeballing it. See, so there's the trend line. Well, trend line breach, we got a little bit of a pushback, which is to be anticipated. Okay, well, they're going to challenge 77.05 here. Okay, we're getting a little bit of a reaction. All right, the clouds are coming into sync here on the bullish side. Bollinger is very bullish, which is encouraging. It looks like I can cancel my sell attempt, I hope. We're getting a little bit of an uptick. Will it be enough? Got to take out that high. This, by the way, right here, an early #1 signal. Early in the sense that the clouds have almost fully crossed, but not entirely. They're trying. We got above 77.05, and you can see these little tails that are here. The market's pushing back. All right, I'll keep it below one of these tails here. I'm trying so hard not to stop myself out after all this. Come on. Get up there a bit. Checking out the highs now. Oh, you stinkers. All right, here we go. We're going to produce our number one signal. Stinkers. I'm not liking this test to the extreme here. Chances are pretty good they're going to tag me out on this trade. After all this, you're going to stop me out. Once again, if I left my stop way down here, there's a chance I can ride it out. I don't know if I want to give them that much, though. All right, looks like it's time to take my medicine. I don't like medicine. So another retest here of the extreme, kind of a short-term thing. No, not looking very promising right now. Well, I wonder, this is what, the third move up? It may actually be time to short it. 1, 2, 3, 3 attempts to move the market higher. All right. So we're going to produce a number two signal on the next signal to sell. And this is the third attempt to rally the market. If it fails at this point, you know what? I will consider shorting it. The market does have a tendency to do things in threes. Don't know if you've noticed that before. 3 hits on a trend line. You know what's funny is they always used to tell you, you determine your trend line, the market would go up, it would come down, go up, come down, go up, come down. They would always tell you you need 3 hits on to determine a trend line. But nobody ever seemed to notice that after that third hit on the trend line, the market would reverse. Markets have a tendency to make 3 pushes and then possibly reverse. Okay, it looks like I need to get busy here with my trade. May actually even get profitable here. Look at that. All right, well, I got my chance to get it to break even. Whew. And we're about to hit our swing target, just below the swing target right now. Swing target 5 points, or $100 in the case of the NASDAQ. There we go. We tagged the swing target. I'm trying to hold out here for a little bit more, which may not be the smartest thing to do. Oh, they were doing so well. Well, you know what? If nothing else, like I said, that shows the importance of keeping a proper stop. You may get yourself in a trade where the market is not ready to move, but there's a lot to be said for just being able to hold on. Well, that was unfortunate after all that. I guess the lesson from that is take your profit while you have it. And it seems as though things really getting quiet. All right, well, you know, I did mention before that the market has made 3 moves higher. Okay, you know what? We're getting a number 2 signal here. I'm going to try it just because the market has been so slow to the upside. It's making me think maybe we're going to see a little bit of a downward move here, and I will try to stretch this one out as well. So the number 2 signal developing here after this retest of the high, kind of showing us that the market is losing some of that upward momentum. Overall, though, it is still bullish, so you have to bear in mind this is a counter trend move. Okay, so we've got the completed number 2 signal. And this isn't that much of a move for the market. You can see we spent a lot of time here. That's right back in the thick of it. All right, well, they're checking the bottom end here, but again, we've kind of lost all our early momentum. So I'm not really expecting another move going on here. All right, another little retest of the extreme. So I don't know. I was going to say things may be getting more bearish. I try not to read stuff into it, but okay, here we go. All right, so we've set another number 2 signal, or are about to set another number 2 signal. And out of the three trades I've tried this morning, trade number 4 here is potentially the most promising. I think the buyers may have finally exhausted their rally, and we're going to see at least a quick little reset here, trying to take it back down here to the support zone. We're getting a little bit of a bounce here off of the hard edge. Oh, isn't trading fun? Oh my gosh. You know, funny thing is, these strong rally days, for me personally, I find to be the most difficult to trade. For me, the days that are easiest to trade are the ones where we have a decent amount of volatility and follow through, but the flow seems to be a little steadier, not quite as sporadic. Here, they just can't make up their mind. You can see we had a whole lot of candy striping going on here. That's telling you the market is very, well, not really conflicted. It's actually quite content. Then we got another little rally up, but you can see we're getting more candy striping going on. And look at that, another rally off of the hard edge. All right, well, we'll stay with this trade a little bit longer. We're going to close up the room here at the top of the hour. And hopefully I don't get tagged out on this one. And hopefully tomorrow will be a little bit more predictable. As I mentioned yesterday, you do run into these kinds of days where you just can't seem to get a handle on the market. You look at your signals, you try your high probability signals, you have your reasons, and you just seem to find yourself on the wrong side of the trade all the time. On those kinds of days, it's important that you have a maximum loss, a loss limit that you are going to cap your trading. You're going to say, thank you very much. I've had enough fun today. See you tomorrow. And I have just reached my loss limit on the day. So good reason to put the toys away. All right, gang. I'll see you again tomorrow. And hopefully, like I said, the market will be a little bit more cooperative. I'll talk to you then. Bye for now.